Like, never once was there a doubt in my mind that he was the right person. And you guys made that very clear. Okay. Whew. It's a lot of cacophony. Wait. Thank goodness we did a first look.
This is Will, a filmmaker whose work feels less like a wedding film and more like a heartbeat.
I want someone's grandkids to watch their film and be like, oh my God, like my parents were cool as shit.
Every frame he shoots feels alive, not because it's perfect, but because it feels real. Will shares how his analytical, systems-driven mindset shapes his creative process, allowing him to reverse engineer inspiration, build repeatable editing frameworks, and still leave room for intuition and emotion.
And editing for me is 90% emotion, 10% technical.
He opens up about cultural influence, burnout, comparison, pricing, tension, and the responsibility that wedding filmmakers carry when creating films that will outlive us.
I do not believe that there are bad wedding films. I just believe that there is lazy editing.
At its core, this episode is about remembering that wedding films aren't about perfection or trends. They're about preserving real human moments that matter.
My whole goal for this was to make something fun, was to make something truly for myself and the people that I was editing for. It's so amazing, that feeling of sharing a video with someone that you made for them, and just seeing their reaction, seeing their, like, how their laughter, their, if you know, they cry, their emotions, just seeing that in real time, like getting that feedback was just fun for me. You know, it was fun to give a memory to someone.
Right.
But I think at the foundation of it all, I was truly just having fun with it. Things that inspire me, first and foremost, it's my culture and my background. I'm Colombian. I grew up in Miami, but my entire family is from the beautiful country of Colombia. And like a lot of cultures, the Colombian culture is very joyous. Fun. We celebrate every single moment we can, from the smallest little tiny things to, you know, the biggest events. We always find an excuse to celebrate. So parties and dancing and good music with good beats. I remember going to film that first wedding in 2017, and I remember being present during the reception and the people dancing and the celebration and the music and people would just go onto the dance floor. And I just remember being so sucked into this, to that energy. I wanted the edit to feel what I felt when I was there. And in order to do that, I really had to be intentional, right? That's a big word that I'll say a lot during this podcast, intentional. I really needed to be intentional with the shots I selected, the sound that accompanied those shots, because I would pull up a clip that I took during the party, and for some reason, it wouldn't feel as powerful as it did when I was there. And it wasn't due to lack of, you know, knowing to film or whatnot, but it's almost like when you take a picture of a sunset and it never does it justice. So I'm like, okay, how can I make this scene, this moment from this wedding, how can I give it the justice that it deserved? And it required me to sit there and really go through and learn, okay, splicing audios and how can I put emphasis on something that isn't there? You're not necessarily lying, you're just elevating what was already there and thinking back to that moment of the day and replicating it so that so that the person watching the film really feels like they are there.
We're doing it. Carl doesn't have to be a bastard anymore. Okay, sorry.
Here we go.
I vow as your husband to love you and support you. I vow to be there for you in the good and bad times as your partner. I vow to always love you and to make sure that you know that every single minute of every day. I love our mutual weirdness, and I cannot wait to get weirder with you as we live our lives together. Even though I unfortunately didn't get that prom invite years ago, I ended up with the best gift of all, with you as my wife.
So I used to let the music dictate me. I don't do that anymore. So a lot of intention goes into finding that music that not competes with the moment, but just complements it, right? It's really, as I'm editing, it's more of an intuition-based feeling. And editing for me is 90% emotion, 10% technical. You can do a lot knowing very little. It is really how you're sculpting the timeline that helps people, feel, not just what they see. Like, so many rules go out the window when people's emotions and feelings take priority. The more you do it and the more you practice it, the more you get that level of intuition as you're editing and piecing together a film. Yeah.
Nice shot.
When I was looking at films like Wine and Reveries and all these other filmmakers that inspired me, inspired my style nowadays, I always saw like, okay, how can I reverse engineer this film to see what they're doing, how they're designing it, how they're putting it together. And it was in that process that I learned how to create my own systems that allowed me to embrace that chaotic, more creative side of my mind. Overwhelming, as you probably know, when you're approaching a non-linear wedding edit, it can feel daunting. It is so incredibly daunting. You have so much audio, so much dialogue from the day, so many emotions, and it is so easy to just say, you know what, I'm just going to do this linearly, and I'm going to just approach it from point A to point Z. And that is where another saying I always say that I used to think was a hot take, but I just say it now because it's not. I do not believe that there are bad wedding films. I just believe that there is lazy editing. And people do not want to sit down and take the time to create a film that is truly going to stand out. And I wholeheartedly say that with confidence because I see it all the time.
Will's absolutely right here. And I know that because, ashamedly, I have been that editor. And a big part of why I've been overwhelmed or scared to really sit down and start my film is because it takes so long to try to find the perfect song. At least it did. And that was before I used Musicbed. Musicbed is my go-to music licensing platform that I use for all of my films because there is just no other platform out there that has the quality and the caliber of music other than Musicbed. And truthfully, without Musicbed, I don't think my films would feel as good as they do. Because the songs you choose for your film, it's not just filler or background noise, it's emotional architecture. Great stories are felt, not just seen. And the right song and sound doesn't just fill silence, it drives emotion, tension, and impact. And with Musicbed, you won't have to settle for one song that might work, you'll get a range of songs that all fit your project perfectly, giving you options that truly elevate your content. And they've even got an AI tool that will help you find the right song in seconds. I've been using Musicbed for 10 years because truthfully, when you listen to a Musicbed song, you don't just hear it, you actually feel it. And your story deserves more than generic music. So if you're interested in signing up for Musicbed or finding out some more information, I will have a link down below for a 14-day free trial.
The worst part, I felt it before, and I know a lot of filmmakers have too, but, that sense of just being tired when going to a wedding because either, you're burned out or you're in a creative rut and you just have this sense of just like, you're just tired to start that next edit. You're like, man, here comes another one. But it's those moments that I have to remind myself how blessed I am. I'm literally getting paid to do something that not only am I good at, but brings me happiness to do. All that to say, I think years from now, I hope that when people watch my films now, they'll just be reminded of how it felt to, feel alive at the moment, right? With with the celebration, the energy. Yes, you're getting married, but that's not the whole point of the marriage, the day, right? I mean, yes, marriage is important. Like you're celebrating the union between two people, but you are there with you're surrounded by your most dearest friends and families. And those are the memories that you're going to want to hold on to and grasp, and seeing those people interact on film, genuinely real. That is what I want people to think years from now when they watch a video. You know, I want someone's grandkids to watch their film and be like, oh my God, like my parents were cool as shit. Like they were awesome. Like, look at this. Like, wow. Yeah. Just something fun and exciting to watch. And you know, people say timeless all the time. No, I don't want mine to be timeless. I want mine to just make people feel something. That's it. That's it. And that's what gets me through an edit. That's what inspires me as I edit, as I put films together. I want to make sure that for those 7-9 minutes that you're watching that beautiful film, you're just locked onto your seat, riding a roller coaster of emotion. That's my priority.